How's it going? Got another action-packed stream to do. Just making sure everything is working. Is this public? Yes. Cool. So I got these switches recently, and I wanted to install them. So that's pretty much what most of the stream is going to be about, is installing these Outemu switches. I do have a camera ready for that. That's what they look like. And we'll go over there and deal with it. Let's look at some of the specifications and stuff. Do a local recording. And yeah, I think this is good. Do I need any of these? This. And of course, this is a live stream simulcast. I'm streaming to 3 different platforms. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. And I will hopefully be able to help. But these are all new to me, so that's what we're going to take a look at. Let me go to some of the specifications for these switches first before I unbox it. Now keep in mind, I purchased the switches. However, previously, I already did a live stream on this. The keyboard itself, as well as the keycaps, were sent to me by the Yunzii company. But that's not really the point of this video, even though I'm using that keyboard. So at least keep that in mind, that I was given the keyboard and the Cat Cafe keycaps. Okay. Going to here. So there is a bit of information on these switches. They're the Outemu White Peach. So that has a window for LED lights from the keyboard itself, which this keyboard does have full RGB. And also, these are linear type switches. I'm a fan of quiet components. Now, I understand that's not common. Maybe I'm weird. I am weird. But yeah, I prefer silent keyboards. And it doesn't make a ton of sense because it's a mechanical keyboard, but you can have mechanical keyboards and also still have quiet operation. So that's what these switches do. We'll see how quiet they are compared to my current keyboard, which is Novel Keys, and then I have Kale Silent Pink switches in there, which we could pull one from there and like compare. But anyways, so here's the specifics of these ones that I'm going to install. Again, they're the Outemu White Peach Silent. And then it's 40 plus or minus 10 GF, whatever that is, the force. And then total travel amount is 3.3 plus or minus 0.2 millimeters. That's, obviously pressing the switch. And pre-travel before the trigger point is going to be 2 plus or minus 0.5 millimeters. And then the in-force, so 45 GF max, whatever that means. And then the operational life of these switches does seem a little bit lower than some I've seen. But 50 million, it feels like a fair amount. So, and then if we look at how they're put together here, you have this top piece, and then keep in mind, this is is it called the MX spec? But anyways, these should be universal, both in how it connects to the board and how the keycaps connect to it. It has the center cross connection, but it also has the side rails, so it should help a little bit with the side to side. All of the ones that I've used have side rails. So then here's the cover piece, the spring, no surprise. And the interesting thing for me is this silent strip. So you can barely see here in the picture, but both sides have a bit of what I would assume to be, yeah, silicone strips, which deadens the sound when it bottoms out. And of course these are linear, so they're not going to have a click to begin with. Yeah. Silent operation, extended springs, honeycomb, light, guide design, precision factory lubrication, so they're pre-lubricated. And this thing here, I had mentioned a little bit, that's the LED shine through windows. So the LED is going to shine right here, and it's going to go up through there, up into the key. The thing is, I don't have any, I do have some keys that I could test it with, but switches switch. Yeah, they do. Yep. Anyways, we can go over to the other area and take a close look. Yep. Switches do switch. Or do they trigger? Do they do both? Okay. Got my little RGB light. Can turn this thing off. Now that we're over here. Just mood lighting. Okay. Exciting. So I've already done a full video on this, also a live stream. But this is the Yunzii B75 Pro Max keyboard. And this is what it looks like by default. But I currently have different keycaps on here, which is this. So double shot. This is a Cat Cafe. So this is going to be a mix of the cat ones, but also the ones from the keyboard itself. Yeah. So these are mostly the original keys, except for the bread, the brown ones. There's more bread. I'm gonna do a close-up of the bread. So again, these are the Yunzii, I think it's called Cat Cafe, or Cafe Cat or something. They're kind of cool, but they have some limitations with what caps they come with, which I'll show you an example coming up. But anyways, if you were curious, I can take another look at those. Or I could just put the existing ones back on, which is what I might do for now, is just put the originals back on. Whoops. We can do that probably. There we go. Yeah, we'll take a look at those again later. And here is the, get these out of the way. Here's the keyboard. Oh, message retracted? Okay. I don't know if YouTube did that or what, but hopefully YouTube didn't try to auto mod you. I mean auto, yeah. I don't really have any control of that I know of. So here is the Yunzii B75 Pro Max with those mostly the add-on keycaps. And it comes with lots of cool stuff and features. So the gist of this keyboard is that it is wired and wireless. It has 2.4 gigahertz wireless, has Bluetooth, and then you can use the USB-C connection to connect. Oh, you did that? Okay, it's all good. Yeah. And then it has a little screen up here with a dial. So you can configure what you want on there. I could probably just, yeah, turn it on because it has a battery inside. Let's see. There should be a little graphic, but I must have turned it off. Oh, wonder if it's connecting to the computer. Well, anyways, probably not. Anyways, the screen is cool when it works. I just don't remember what key combination it was to do that. There we go. But like I said, the main point here is going to be the switches. It does come with USB-C cable, or USB-C to USB-A. It's not a great match for the keyboard, but that's okay. And then we're going to need this puller. There's also another one. I don't remember which came with what. But there are also a few keycaps that came with the keyboard. Just additional ones. So command key, pause, insert, Macintosh, Apple specific thing. Yeah. We might use those. We'll see. Probably not though. I'll keep this out as well. So that, I'm gonna get a drink while I'm doing this. It's just some sparkling water. Okay. Oh, it is on screen. Whoops. Where can I put this? It'll see it, but is that off screen? Yeah. Running out of places to put things. There we go. Whoops. That down there. Yeah, that's good. Anyways, here's the point of this stream. So these are Ouch. Again, I purchased these. These are Ouch EMU keyboard switches. This is a 108-piece box. These are, what were they called? Pink something. I already forgot what the name was. Let's see. They are called White Peach. So silent white peach. I didn't buy them for the look. I bought them for the sound profile. Yeah, really not much to it, but that's what you get in the box. Pretty simple. Whoa. Go back in for a second. Do a close up here. If I can hold it steady. There we go. Pretty cool. I'll pull one out. Well, that's as far as I can zoom in, but I can't hold it closer. So there's the connection point for the keycap. This up here is where the LED shines through. So the LEDs on the keyboard is going to shine through this little slot. And then on the bottom, of course, we've got the 3 connection points that slot into the standard, is it MX style? I'm not totally sure on the naming of things. But then you got 2 connection points for the actual switching. Yeah. Pretty cool. And then let me see if I do have some of the camera is manual focus. I think they're inside the other box, but the keyboard itself did come with some spare switches. You can pull those to take a look. So these are the ones that came with the Yunzii B75 Pro Max. I believe these are Milk version 2. So these are the Yunzii ones. Very similar. So this is where the LED is going to shine through. They got the same type of connection point for the switches. And then on the bottom here, we've got the 3 plastic pieces and then the 2 metal things for the switch itself. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that on my microphone. Let me get close. Very clicky, right? When it bottoms out, I'm going to do one of these. Probably can't even hear it. So that's the main thing. I'm very particular about sound with keyboards. So I just can't use these long term. That's just me though. Anyways, I could do another little sound test. So these are what's inside here at the moment. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Very clicky once you bottom out. You can make them quiet by just not bottoming out, but still. These are going to be much, much quieter. And now here is the very long, drawn-out process of swapping. I think I will put the other caps back on. See which thing here is going to work best. Can zoom out a little bit. Make sure it's focused. Yeah. We got our switches. We've got these. Oops. Don't need that. There we go. Should I start up here? Maybe I could leave some of the brown ones. I could at least have a row of... We'll see. Because some of the issue I have with this keycap set is right here. It didn't have a lighter brown here, and it didn't have a lighter brown that fit here. So that, to me, that's just not great. So it's kind of a visual thing. Anyways, where should we start? If I keep these, what is the shift? So the shift, I think, is going to be a darker gray, wherever it is. And then the backspace is a darker gray. Let's control. Oh yeah, here it is. So there's the shift. Well, might need the box as a reference point, so I don't particularly remember QWERTY. It's possible I'll forget as I'm removing something. So we've got darker gray here, and these are not exciting. I just would want to put some of the cats on the keyboard somewhere. Problem is, if I use the blue, I just feel like that's not gonna work. So I could keep this spacer, and I could keep the enter key, but I think there's a darker brown one too. So if I swapped these to dark, maybe, if there is. There might be. Well, let's start with the easy ones, like Q and all that. Oh, that took out the whole switch. So there you can see one of the Milk version 2 Yunzii switches. Just kind of separate. Yeah. So I'm not going to be using that. Let's pop one of these in here. Let's make sure it's the right direction. Yeah, fit without issue. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I can already tell it's going to be much quieter. Maybe I should take more out so that wow. I'm going to touch my microphone to get a close-up sound, but I don't want you to I'm just going to mute it for a second. Okay, that should be good. Try to be careful. I'll just get close up here. So here's the new one. Here's the existing one. Again, this is the Outemu silent, what was it, Peach? Something Peach? I don't even remember. But the Outemu one. And then this is the Yunzii Milk version 2. So much nicer. Okay. This is going to be good. There we go. I could do another sound test once it's all set up and such. Or maybe just do half of it. I don't know. But anyways, we'll use this thing to hold these other ones. There we go. Here's going to be the slow part. Another situation where the switch came out. Swap. Whoops. W. Ticker. What is that? Well, anyways, just align the position of things. Very nice click. Whoops, I almost put the wrong key back in. So is that? Man, this is one of the downsides is whoops. Okay, that didn't pull the full thing. So now I have to use this side to extract it. Question is, how do I do it? Oh, is it vertical? I think I need to do it vertically. Okay. Swap. Put this in here. So this keyboard is 75%. I don't remember how many actual keys that means. Does it say on here? It doesn't. I mean, if someone in the chat knows what a 75% number of keys is, or wants to count this, feel free. Oh, nice. I'm kind of glad that the Switch is coming out at the same time as some of the caps. E-R QWERTY. QWERTY. There we go. That has a nice click. I'm not against clicks in some situations, but when I'm using something day to day, I prefer quiet operation. But I mean, installing these, it does have a nice click when I put that switch in there. Oh, that one didn't come out. Easy. Put this one here. Oh, come on. I don't know, should I take a row out so we can see like the profile and everything? Well, I'll take some of the bottom ones out once we get to that point. Oops, I just put, what am I doing? There we go. Putting the darker brown one back in. QWERTY. Oops. Does anyone use Dvorak, or however you pronounce it, layout? I've never attempted. to use that. I would assume I'm even mispronouncing the acronym. I did know a guy that used it and he was very not cool. So that's kind of soured me to it a little bit, honestly. And we got you. Try to speed run this as fast as I can. I should have tried to look for my other switches, but I'm not sure what I did with them. Those are from my other keyboard, which was, I did have a mechanical keyboard before this and the other one that I have, but I think I gave that to a friend. And I went through the process of lubricating the switches that came with it, and it was a pretty fun experience. But then I got that Novel Keys keyboard, which is a 65% layout. And that one's been my daily driver, daily presser. I don't know what you would call a daily use keyboard. And it has Kale silent pink switches. But I will say that I have definitely missed having function keys, because the 65% layout, you have to use a function key itself to get your function keys. And those are things that I actually use. So it's been not ideal. Make sure these are in the right order. Although the nice thing about this keyboard and the other keyboard is that they use the VIA software. So I could potentially do the different layout if I wanted to try it at some point. Or just swap things around for whatever reason. I mean, obviously, usually it would apply to stuff like this. Or if I didn't want arrow keys, I could put some other keys in there that would fit in this specific row. I mean, there will be limitations to positioning because the profiles are different between the rows, I think. Mostly. I don't know the exact details, but you generally can't put a key here, up here, or whatever. I mean, you could, but it just wouldn't look right or feel right. There we go. Swap. So now the bracket, or curly brace and bracket. Nice. So far, very enjoyable install process. Haven't had any issues, knock on wood. Here we go. And this one. Come on. Cool. I would like to get into mice as well, but I'm also very particular about, oops, what am I doing? Very particular about silent click mice too. And those are more difficult to get retail, like quality silent click mice. The vast majority that I've seen of higher end gaming mice are just very clicky. So I got this thing. I'm trying to see. Where's the slash? Is it the bread? Does this one go here? That looks pretty good. The problem is, I don't know if I'll remember what key is what. I mean, I've used keyboards for a very, very long time because I'm very old. But I don't know if I would remember. I guess I'll find out. Let's put that there. I mean, I can always just pull the most of them and let's see if this, okay, this is the wrong profile. So this bread doesn't fit the profile of the slash. Question is, which one is it? Or maybe there is not. Is it this thing? No, not even close. I don't think it's the bread. This must have been the only one. Yeah. This set is a little limited, sadly. I wish they just would have gone with one, like the lighter brown, instead of the mix of the lighter and darker browns. So it's just, you can't really make it uniform or, you know. So I'm looking for this. I mean, I guess maybe that's supposed to go there, like the uniform through here, I guess. Is there a darker brown tab? I don't think so. Maybe that's where the bread goes. I'm not sure. Wheel. Let's pull these top ones here. I'm just gonna start. I've got a picture here, so if I forget anything, I'm just gonna use the picture. Oh, actually, I'll do this full row because I don't think there's anything I want to put up here from the cat one. Just generic. So there's that. So make sure my camera's focused. Yeah. Oops, need to put a switch in there first. Yeah, I don't think generally you need to care about what the switches look like because they're usually covered. The thing is, if you do get translucent keycaps, which I do have on my other keyboard, it does matter a little bit. But in here, if the caps are fully covered, you're just not going to see the switch inside. So I think it matters all the time. Is that? Pump this in here. Nice click. Got our... Oh, that is the wrong... What am I doing? There we go. Try to go a little faster. Although it is relaxing, so... For my own sanity, I should probably try to keep some of them in the right order. Guess I want to swap them. Come on. There we go. Nice. Trying to think of other stuff to talk about. Oh, I was talking about mice. I haven't had the best of luck with high quality computer mice while having silent click operation. I actually have some silent switches that I wanted to solder onto some of my older mice, but I haven't attempted it yet. Although that I envisioned that project a long time ago, so it's just been sitting. And one of the mice that I have that I wanted to especially try it with because the buttons gave out is a Japanese one that's kind of ergonomic, and then it had screws that were tri-wing, something like that, and I didn't have a tool, but I think I eventually bought a tool to do it, but then I didn't attempt it. So would like to get to that at some point. And then maybe I'll have more mouse options that are decentish, but also silent click. Also, the thing is with, even if it's a silent click mouse, sometimes they only mean the buttons and then the wheel makes noise, and that bothers me. So I'm very particular. We're getting somewhere slowly. Nice. Come on. I have a feeling this is going to be really nice with these different switches. Whoops. Not to say that the ones that came with it are terrible or anything. If you like the clicky sound, then you'd be good. Yeah. I'm going way too slow. So I want to end around 9 Central. It's my usual. Come on. my usual time. Oops. Go. How's it going? Looks like everything's still working. Right now I've got 2 screens in this area, and then I have a bunch of screens and stuff running in the other area that are just sitting. And then I use a program called OBS to do the streaming. And then the computer itself has 6 different screens attached to it. So for doing this type of stuff, it's challenging to have what you need. Whoops, sometimes. So you need a lot of equipment, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to monitor things very well if I didn't. I also had some issues previously when I didn't have a preview of the stream itself, like what's being sent. I mean, you could always use a phone and just like verify that it's running, which I probably should do occasionally. But I tend to not do that. I mean, even better would be to use a phone with its own internet connection just to verify what the stream is doing occasionally. But it's not, I mean, I don't have a huge viewership, so it's generally not one way or the other. And in this case, it's just the specific thing that I'm doing is for my own purposes and enjoyment. Because I already did an unboxing of this Yunzii keyboard, which they had sent to me. And I purchased these things myself, the new switches. That is a nice click when those go into the keyboard. Yeah, I think I need to drink more. It's very warm in here. I know the microphone's right by my mouth, so sorry. Here we go. Next, here we go. Nice click. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. Yes. Plus. I tend to not be a very showy person, so maybe that's why I gravitate towards silent peripherals. It's kind of a respect thing too, for me at least. If I had very loud peripherals, I mean, if you're around people, it's like, do I want to have that thing click and make, you know, irritate people around me type of thing? So it looks like the backspace is going to be a dark gray if I swap. I don't know if there's a lighter brown one, but I guess we could switch, or I mean, we could skip that for the moment and just do more of the standard ones. So for this one, I think I'm just gonna go ham here and super speed. So we can get more of a better view of what's going on here. And also speed up the stream a little bit. Because I've got a box with a picture on it. The thing is, when I'm typing, I tend to know what is what. And like I've said, I've used computers for a very long time at this point. So I should know exactly where everything is, but it's not like I specifically memorize. I think it turns into muscle memory, brain muscle memory or something. Maybe I should get a bag. Let's put those in. Whoops, just so it's a little more easier to do this. There we go. Let's pop these out as well. Yeah, kind of missing some of the interesting views if only I do one at a time. Or I only do one at a time. Maybe I can find someone to, or do something with these other switches. So that's what, you can see the pink of the new ones. Let's see, so we got Control, System, Alt, Windows key, and then Alt, Function, Control. These ones, so if I were to swap these, it'd be blue, which is not ideal. So if I do want to do any brown, I feel like I need to keep these ones. So I kind of doubt there's any alternatives in what I've got available to put there. Yeah, I don't know. This shift would be gray. And I could make these gray. Or I could just have a row of cats up at the top. So I don't know if these, like the profile of these, has any relation to the profile of the other rows. Not sure. Probably not. We've got, so there's the arrow keys. Yeah, that's very blue. And the blue doesn't really mesh. Well, what is this backspace? Okay, that's a dark gray. I could put the dark gray function keys here, maybe. But I feel like I'm forced to use some of the dark. So this would be, oh, that would be a gray. This would be a gray. So I could get rid of the dark browns. Let's do that, at the very least. So here's the shift. We'll use that. I like this. I like that one. I wish I had something to go here that wasn't these ones. Hmm. So I'll go there. Yeah, I just don't think the blue is gonna work out there. I can take this one out as well. There's that. Let's see if I can easily pull this to stabilize in it. Oh yeah, it's very easy. Okay, the stabilizers are totally separate. Plop that one in there. Nice. Let's see where my backspace is. It's kind of a darker gray. Here it is. Nice. And then these ones. Now I'm going to get rid of these. Just going to quickly swap these out. Sorry, 8 o'clock. I will say this is I haven't gotten super into all of this, but it is a fun hobby. And some people go really extreme. And this type of equipment gets very, very expensive. This one's reasonable, and the caps are reasonable, and the switches are very reasonable priced. Those are very, very reasonable. But yeah, this stuff gets really expensive. Oh, I can swap these dark ones here, maybe. I'm trying to go for some sort of consistent theme here. Whoops. Let's put that there. We'll have to see if I have more lighter brown options. Oops. Come on. I mean, I like the bread cat. This one's good, but it's a darker color. Oh well. Let's get my camera to focus. So shift. I might as well pull all of them because I just want to swap the switches anyways. But I'll try to remember what kind of can go where. So that's the profile of function keys, these ones. So I need to pull them anyways. Try to just kind of arrange things so it'll be a little easier for me to put them back. Oops. Is that? Come on. I do wish this key, the cat one, I wish it had more options or just had a consistent color scheme. So I do like the kind of caramel color, but the darker brown just for the specific thing was, it's harder to read or see the graphics on the case. Well, props to Yunzii for at least offering some unique options. Oh, that did not sound good. There we go. This. So I guess I could go over some of this information on this keyboard again while I'm just sitting here doing this. It's the Yunzii B75 Pro Max. They did send me the keyboard, Yunzii. And they also sent the keycaps. I purchased these Outemu silent switches because, as I said before, I'm particular about the sound of my keyboards. The switches that I bought, these are all linear switches, so they don't have a click. But the Yunzii ones that came with the keyboard, when you bottom out, they have a pretty noticeable sound. And I'm just not a fan of that. So that's why I'm swapping. Which is the great thing about keyboards, or mechanical keyboards. This, like I said, this specific keyboard's the B75 Pro Max. It has wireless 2.4 gigahertz. It has Bluetooth. It has wired USB-C. And the USB-C is both for charging and data. So it will actually communicate with the computer through the port. There are some wireless things that don't do that. It's just like just power. This one actually communicates. And it is a VIA type keyboard. So I don't know if it's totally open source, but I would assume VIA software is open source. It's the way to configure and control the keyboard. So it's quite at least for me, it was quite the process of getting the profile for this keyboard. Because in the VIA software, there was a little toggle that you had to change to get the ability to upload custom profile, and that wasn't clear. It's just oddly hidden in the VIA software. But once I did that, I was able to upload this specific profile for this keyboard, and then I could control everything. So you can put whatever key you want. You can adjust the different layers of function. So you've got your function key, which will allow you to toggle things and then shift and control or whatever. It's just very versatile for any VIA keyboard. The other keyboard that I have, the Novel Keys one, is also like that. Probably not going to remember the placement of this stuff. So it might be kind of challenging to do with the... That's good. Look at this thing. Whoops. Yeah. sure it's focused. Cool. I'm gonna keep these in some sort of order. Whoops. There we go. I can just pull this by hand. It's basically a friction fit for these MX style. Assuming that's the term. I'm not totally sure. Come on. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna remove these remaining switches. Oof. This is surprisingly exhausting work, but it's warm in here because I have so many computing things running, multiple screens and everything, which produces a lot of heat. And in my area, it's pretty warm right now. There we go. I need to get down a bit further. Almost fully clear of these Yunzii Milk version 2 switches. Yep. Now we can slot in the Outemu ones. I'll show these again for anyone that wasn't around. These are the Outemu switches that I purchased. They're silent. They have a silicone material on the sides of this stem inside. So when it bottoms out, it doesn't make a loud quick click noise, which I like. I just do that to make sure the camera's focused. Let's get this going here. Do some high speed clicking install. I purchased the 108 piece switch pack, which this keyboard's not that large, but I wanted to make sure that if some of them don't work for whatever reason, which I mean is not impossible, or if I were to have damaged one or something, which so far it's fine, but I do like having extras just in case. If one breaks at some point, which again is probably relatively unlikely, it's nice to have backups. And you never know if they're going to stop producing a specific switch. So again, I try to buy more switches than my keyboard needs. Very nice click. It is impressive how all of these companies fit the specification well enough that there really tends to not be a problem with using stuff from different companies. Because this is the Yunzii keyboard and these are Outemu switches. Oh, there we go. Got our other pack. cut my fingernails, so it's kind of difficult to... There we go. I've done video stuff for a very long time, online video stuff, and I've had people complain about, I mean, not just me, I've seen other creators have people complain about fingernails. So I try to keep my hands looking decent for stuff like this. Yeah. But sometimes I forget, and then I've got longer fingernails. But the most, I mean, I generally, it's not a great idea to take comments too seriously. I mean, you can at least read them and see if, you know, if you want to take any sort of suggestion. But sometimes people just do it for personal reasons or something, where they're lashing out towards people they don't know. Like the report of the week, he's a YouTuber. He tends to have long fingernails out of preference, and people have criticized him about that, which is so pointless, in my opinion. Let's just let the guy have whatever fingernail length that he prefers without hassling him about it. Anyways, we're getting close to having our switches installed. This shouldn't really affect any visual thing. I didn't buy these for the look, but in some situations it would make sense to buy switches for the look of them. But that really depends on what keycaps you're using. Because in this case, these keycaps cover everything, so it's not really something to consider for me. I'll have to see if I can find, well, I mean, I tend to not look around for companies to collaborate with. I generally take whatever is sent to me. Probably, generally, for me, a bad idea not to seek out quality companies. But I would be open to finding more keyboard and mice peripheral companies to collaborate with. The thing is, it's very time consuming and expensive for many reasons to do this type of stuff, both in the equipment and the time, for sure, and then trying to be like a functional human. So I've been looking for sponsors, but it's very, very difficult at my viewership amount. So I'm drinking something. Okay. Got it loaded up with switches. You can see the new ones. Looks cool. It is standardized, so very easy. Make sure my keyboard's, or my camera's focused. Now we can at least put these ones in. A little bit quicker than what I was doing previously. Whoops. I'm glad that the fit so far has been perfect. I haven't noticed any issues with the keys or the switches. Semicolon. apostrophe, and then we've got Z or Z in Europe. I do wonder, Z and Z, I wonder how that came about with, I don't know if America's the only one that says Z. I'd have to look that up. If anyone knows in the chat, let me know. Nice. This is very relaxing. We've got these here. So if I were to put the official ones, it would be a dark gray, which matches with this. And then this is going to be a blue, so I'm gonna go with the cat one here for sure, at least for now. I'm going to try to avoid using the blues. And then on the top here, you can see what one would potentially work. See if there's any other. I'm going to get these out of the way. And now, whoops. Yeah, so I had quite a few extra. Whoops. So this is a 108 piece pack of these Outemu switches. This is a 75% keyboard, so let's see what was left. Assuming I don't have any damaged ones or anything. But I'll just get this out of the way for now. So we can move it more easily. Well, we also have some of these. These out the way. Cool. Oops. We've got our enter key. This would be a blue, so I'm definitely going to use this one. Look at that. These are cool for what they are. Just sadly, they're not super practical with at least this layout of keyboard. There we go. And then these ones, I think well, they are a light brown. Yeah, I could potentially use those. I'm going to use these down here. Sounds good. And then down here, so these would be gray or brown, like this caramel color brown. These would be gray or brown. These ones like a lighter to match this. Let me see if I have, so I'm not going to use the dark browns unless, yeah, I don't think I want to use the dark browns. I would like to use a bit more of the darker gray, so I could do that. Okay, this one I need to use the gray because there is not a, again, one of the issues with this specific keycap set, there wasn't a light brown caramel-esque colored one that fit here. There was one that kind of looked like it would fit, but the post was in the wrong spot. So sadly that didn't work. But this shift was a problem for that keycap set to a degree. There is a dark brown that works. I just don't want the dark brown there. Not sure where this... Okay, that fits there. Let me see, do I need anything here? I could take the function keys maybe. Just in case. We'll see. So these are very easy for my brain to know what they are. So I could put cat picture ones up here, assuming I have enough. So I don't necessarily need to use numbered function keys. The problem is with my brain, some of these might be challenging if I just use pictures. Like little cats or something. Let's see. These could go down here. Whoops. Is there anything I need here? There's various delete keys. The control. I think that's too big. There's an alt. Whoops. Let's go here. I can't tell. I don't remember what I had there. Was it this bread thing? I don't know if this is the right spot, but it seems to fit. Oh. Let's put that there. Yeah, that looks like the right. So we got a brown tab or a gray, dark gray tab, which I feel like I need some gray over here. It's looking unique. Up here, to figure out which. So I think this one goes down. Yeah, that's the same. There's a shift. So I could either put that one or the gray one. I feel like I need some gray over here so it's consistent. Probably should not do the cat one. Try the gray shift. And then we have escape up here. Maybe I'll put gray escape. Oh no, it's a blue. That's not going to work. Let's see. There's a function key. Yeah, I think that's the lower area. I mean, I could put, well, I don't know if I want to put one dark brown in there. I do like the bread cat. But, yeah. Let's see if the bread cat's the same as the function key. It is. So I could put the bread cat in the escape. Unless I have a bread cat here. No. This is tough. So I really would like to use some of the darker ones too, but put these up here. We can at least, maybe I'll put the gray ones here for now. 5, 6. So there's those. Just so I have a little bit of consistency. And then these would be lighter browns. Let me see what I've got to fit that. So those are the right profile. Those are the right profile, it looks like. This is not. These are down here somewhere. I don't know if this is on screen. Yeah, it is kind of on the top down. Let's see what else we have potentially. This thing. Yeah. And there's a cat paw. Some sort of cup. Can't tell what profile that's. I think it's down there. This is page down, page up, control, function. So I might use those. Yeah, the bread cats are the dark brown. Man, I like that one too. Delete. And there's an alt. Well, I don't think there's anything here I want to use. No. Just trying to make some room here. This one. Okay. Got our tab, caps lock, control, system alt. I'm not going to use the blues. So there's a dark alt, dark brown. Okay, all of this I'm not going to use right now. Just make sure that I'm not missing any other that I would put in there. Function, shift, Windows key. It's a control key. I think that's too big. Yeah. I think this is the extent of what I've got to work with. So we got these, which I think are these, plus whatever's in here. And we've got a mix of function keys on the top. We got dark browns, which I'm unsure about. I don't have enough lighter browns to fill 8 spots. That's too bad, because these are the wrong profile down here. All of those should, so there's a shift that could go there, but then it wouldn't match this one. Do I have a caps lock? Yeah. It's the wrong font. Yeesh. I mean, that's the wrong font too. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. We'll wing it, and I can always change it in the future. So Alt, function, and control by default. We've got a control here. We have a function key. Here's an Alt. But then I can use the cat as well. And here we've got control system Windows key, which I think the bread works. Types of bread. Yeah, that works. And then this one. I do have an Alt. There's a coffee cup, but I don't really want to go that direction. So control. This is a French. What are those called? I can't remember the name of it. But this is like a baguette. Trying to think if the name of the bread would fit the key. Well, or this cat here, this one here. And then this one here, and this one here. Or maybe I could toggle them. Oh, these are lighter. Shoot. Maybe I should put the brown ones here and then have the lighter function keys on the sides. Because I just don't have enough of those to work, unless I wanted to use the dark ones. But I could put bread cat there. Tab, we've got gray in this generic tab. Here's my gray one. So part of the problem is the weird mix of fonts. But maybe I should swap the caps, because that just doesn't look right. But then this doesn't look great either. And I need to keep this one, because it would be blue otherwise. So that's the default. Decisions. That's that's part of the fun of mechanical keyboards, is customizability. Yeah, I could take these out. There we go. Nice. Make sure those are still clicked in there. Yep. So we've got the standard function keys. Three. Nice. And down here, maybe just mostly gray. I could put the gray ones here. And then just put brown cats. This one, this one, this one. Cool. And then down here, that would be Alt. Assume it's this one. Yeah, Alt, function. Where is it? No. Maybe it's not here. Here it is. And then Control. Okay. And I'll swap these out. I like the bread ones, but let's get rid of those caps key. There we go. Make sure that's still inserted. Caps lock. Cool. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of this bread one. Whoops. Come on. I don't really like that one, but I do like this baguette thing. However, whoops. Make sure those are clicked in. So this would be the wider control. So command key. So it'll be these three. System and Alt. Is that the same thing? Okay, that looks like the same shape and size. There's Option. I assume these are Apple specific, but it really doesn't matter what I put there because it's Windows for me. And then over here, delete and page up, page down. I think I put print screen on the top. Maybe not. Did I put delete on the top? No, I think I... Question is, which one is what? So this one? Delete. Here's a delete. Maybe it's a taller one. Let's take this one out. Yeah. Put that one there. End. I think I swapped this one for print. Or I was going to. Because I used a print screen more than I use. Problem is I don't know if that's the right spot that'll work for that. Hard to say. And then page up, page down. I don't tend to really use those, but could always put something there in the future. Okay, that's not right. Maybe print's supposed to go up there. Where is that supposed to go? The problem is that they have specific profiles. So I think I would have to put print up here and then use a different delete key. But I don't have a different one for this. So it's going to look a little odd if I keep that. But I do have different profiles for delete with the brown ones. So I could put brown here. But I don't know if I have a print for the other ones. Yeah, it just looks a little odd because these are the same profile, but this one's supposed to have a different profile. Well, so if I went with brown, I don't know if this is a light brown. Yeah, let's not. Okay. Whoops. For the moment, I'm just going to go with the standard end. Just go there. So there's that. And then down here, we'll just put the standard ones. So we got control system, and then alt. Nice. So there is my custom, fully adjusted B75 Pro Max. Okay. Sounds good. You probably don't hear anything, or very, very minimal. Nice. Okay, I think this is good for now. Let's take it over to the computer. Where I can get a full shot, full view of that. I can remove my top-down camera real quick, so I can get a full view here. There it is. Sure it's focused. Yeah. So these are the standard ones. These are the custom Yunzii ones. I think it works out nicely. And then I swapped the switches with the Outemu switches. So this stuff. So it's much, much quieter to me. Now I'm going to compare this to my other keyboard over there. We'll see how it is. Swap to do the back camera. No, looks like that camera stopped working. Let's do the face cam for a moment while I fix this. Let's see. Properties. There we go. Back camera. There we go. So this is my current keyboard. This is a Novel Keys Entry Edition, 65%. And then the caps, I'm trying to remember what the name of those were. I mean, the keycaps, yeah. I do have the box. I would like to do a full video on that actually as well, but I think I did a stream and then I didn't edit that into a full thing. So these, I would like to edit that, but these are the like translucent, glorious ones. Anyways, I could potentially take these caps and put them on here if I wanted to, because I do prefer having a function on the top. So anyways, let's plug this one in and we can do a sound test. I think that went in there. Just gonna use a spare port. So I'm gonna be drinking something. Get my phone for the Amazon stream. There we go. Yeah. Actually, I probably should disconnect them so I don't mess with anything. Do a quick sound test. So again, this is with, let me get the name of it. It's the Outemu White Peach Silent Switches. And then this one has Kale Silent Pink. Let me see if I can get a spelling of the other one, which I do not have linked in the description, but never mind. I can't type anything without a keyboard, so anyways. I don't even know if it's showing up. This is actually louder. It's like a slight. There's more play to this. I don't know if it's the, maybe it's the caps. Now this has a more muted, kind of a deeper sound. That's much more of a higher pitch. Wow. Interesting. That's cool. Let's plug it in. We can go to here. Let's pull up a notepad window. Notepad. Oh, short for some reason. $75 Pro Max. I think it's with, actually let me see if I have the Amazon page. Click here. So I could make this text larger. Font. Let's try 20. So kind of small. The Outemu silent white peach linear out swap. That's the force. Very nice. Very nice. And then here's my current Oh, it does take less effort. Double keys. I'm so used to this. Entry edition. With, let me get the name of this. KA. Oh, okay. KAILH box. Silent pink. Interesting. Let me try this again. Oops, I'm going to be wrapping these keyboards are heavy, so this one's especially heavy. Actually, I should turn on the screen too. I just don't remember what the key combination was. Let me find that document. Where is it? Should be in here. There's a back camera. Yeah. This is upside down. Oh wait, is it? Yeah. Shoot. Let me rotate that. Transform. Is that upside down? No, okay. So, gift page 10. How do I turn it on? Function 0. Oh, there we go. I have a GIF preloaded. Let's zoom this in. Look at that thing. Wait, sorry. I had to block some of the light. There it is. It just loops. How's that? Anyways. Let's go back to the thing here. Here's my mouse. Testing. Whoops. Now let me see if I can find the force rating of these kale ones. Okay, it's 35 grams. So the ones I have in here take less force. Whoops, let me go back to the back camera. The switches I have in this one take less force to press by 5 grams, and then these ones are more. So I do notice that it takes more effort for me to press these than these. And I'm so used to this, I do feel like I'm typing faster with the less force ones, but maybe in time I would get used to this. So that's something to definitely consider when you're getting into keyboards, is the amount of force in the actuation point of the switches. So a lot to consider with these things, but it's fun. It's interesting. Anyways, I think I am done for now. Let me get the box here. We can sign out. I mean, it's a very generic box, so there's not much to show, but I can show some of the switches. Okay. This down here. So here's the switches I bought. Again, keep in mind that Yunzii did send me this keyboard, and they also sent me the cat keycaps, but I purchased the switches. And so far, I'm liking them. I do really notice the 5 grams of additional force that it takes me to press these. So I'm going to try to daily drive this thing and see if I'm okay with the additional effort that it takes my fingers long term. But yeah, these are what they look like. These are the Outemu switches. You can see on the bottom there the 2 metal connection points, and then these posts that align things. And then this is the LED light pass through. Yeah. Very cool. And then these are, I'd have to go digging around for the kale ones, but I could pull one from this keyboard here real quick, just to show an example. So these are the Yunzii ones. They got a really loud, to me, it's got a click when it bottoms out. So they can be quiet, but they don't have any sort of padding inside. Like these ones have silicone inside that is basically a stopper to prevent the click sound. So I can show these on. That's the Yunzii. And that's the Outemu one. I'm going to quickly pull one of my other switches so we can compare that. You can do the back camera. Let's see. I'll take one of, it's probably kind of dirty in there, so I don't want to show too much. There you go. Let's make sure it's looks relatively clean. Oh, okay, the post design is different. Maybe I should go back to the hands-on camera. So here's the 3 different switches. And I can actually add these ones to the Amazon thing. Just for anyone that's interested. We'll go back to the hands-on real quick. It's getting kind of late, but it's okay. Almost there. Almost ready. There we go. Oh, I forgot to, well, I don't think that other camera is going to be useful here. So here's the 3 different switches. See if I can add those other ones. Add K box. Okay, they're very, doesn't look like they're easily available on here. There is one, but well, anyways, I did add it. So here are the Kale box Silent Pink. Again, they're pretty quiet. So they have basically the same design. It's missing 2 posts comparatively to these ones and these ones. So if we align them, there is some difference with the design. Just make sure it's properly focused. Move it up a little bit. Yeah, so this is the Yunzii Milk version 2s. I'm personally not a fan of the sound profile of this once it bottoms out. It's kind of clicky, but some people are into that. Some people, I mean, most mechanical keyboard people like clicks. And these are still linear, but they have a noise when they bottom out. And then, like I said, these Outemu ones are very quiet, but they require more force than these Kale ones to actuate. And I do notice it. It's 5 grams difference between these 2. So, also, this design on the top here, I do notice that this wobbles more than these ones. So that's another consideration. If you want to have your keycaps as stable as possible, probably look for this design. There's also ones that just have the centerpiece, which would have even more kind of wobble to it. But I like how stable these are comparatively to this. But these are fine. I'm so used to these ones. Anyways, good look at the bottom again. So these have the 3-post design, which does work with the Yunzii keyboard. But this one doesn't have the 3-post design. Of course, they all have the 2 metal pins for connection. I don't know if the different posts design makes any difference with how it works, but yeah. Anyways, just wanted to show those up close. get this one so I can put it back in the keyboard. All right. Zoom out there. I think we are good. Transition that to the thing. I'm just going to put this back in the... Yeah, this keyboard would handle the 3 posts as well. It has the same design, so I could put these ones in this keyboard if I wanted as well. Nice click. And put this back on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is a successful test. I just have to potentially get used to the more effort to press keys. But this does make more noise, surprisingly. And I thought that was quiet. So that's cool. All right. I'm good for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This little switch swap. But I go by tech, I suppose, on this stuff. Although I do food and drink reviews, photography stuff, pretty much everything at this point. Anyways, I'm going to head out. See ya. Also, if you want to follow the Amazon stream, that would be helpful. It's my page on Amazon. See ya. I'm also going to sign out of YouTube. So yeah. And also